Wow, today I'm going to talk about Oliver's adventures with the Rainbow Heartlight and how this came about. I'm quite astonished that I've actually written a children's book series because I've never had any desire to write. It's something that it's just not in my field of vision, or it wasn't, I should say. Now, as you know, my grandson Oliver was born with tetralogy of Fallot, which is a heart defect. He had to have open heart surgery at 4 months. This was his second procedure. And bless him, you know, this courageous little warrior of light came down to earth, and, you know, he came with his challenges, and he told me I knew he was going to be fine. But I did feel as though he was with me here for a reason. I felt my heart connected with him, and my heart started beating the same as his. So there was much more going on than meets the eye. Now we fast forward to his surgery date, and you know, Victoria, my daughter-in-law, and Oliver, my son, as any parents would be beside themselves with worry for the child. And you know, one particular day just after his surgery, he crashed. I was on the way to the hospital, and when I entered the ICU cardiology unit at Chalk, they wouldn't let me through, and I just prayed, you know, to the angels, because I needed to get in the room, because I needed to help. So this lady just said, "Oh, let her in." So I went in, and the scene when I walked into the room was Boo Boo. Ollie Bear, I call him Boo Boo. Sometimes Boo Boo Baggins, because he reminds me of an hobbit with his curly hair. And he's there in this bed, and he's surrounded by these doctors trying to bring him back to life. So this scene, you know, it just, I thought, oh my God. So instead of going into the energy of it all, I thought, oh, I've got to help. So I looked at Oliver and Victoria, who were stood to the left of me, and I put my arm around them and I said, close your eyes and visualise a beautiful bright pink light and send it to him. So all three of us stood there. We called in the angels and we sent this pink light, and he came back straight away. So obviously we thank the angels, we thank God, and we thanked all the, you know, earth angels, the doctors and nurses that helped. So afterwards we were stood around his bed, and I said to Vicky and Oliver, I said, he's fine, it's not going to happen again. Because after 2 times it was really scary, you know, because with this beautiful 4-month-old baby boy, you know, tied up to all this machinery, you know, that saved his life. It was very frightening. And as I was saying this, there's an automatic paper towel dispenser at the side, and it just started pouring out paper towels. There was nobody near it, and I said, oh, that's just a confirmation from the angels. Claire Bear, which is my beautiful stepdaughter, who passed over from a brain tumour at 26, and I'd asked our friend's daughter to help, who'd also passed over with a brain tumour, and that's Sarah Bear. So all this scene had been created, you know, for the first book without me. I didn't have any idea this was going to happen until 12 months later. And unbeknownst to me, it was actually 12 months to the day of Oliver's surgery. I didn't connect the dots. So I came downstairs, and Vicky sat at the table, you know, just going through some papers, and I said, Vicky, you need to go and get a pen. And she looked at me and she said, why? I said, because I've woke up with a story. The angels have prompted me to write this story. And she just looked at me, her mouth wide open, and she went, but Tracey, you don't write. I went, I know, but I've got a story. And I said, I've got another one too. I said, there's 2 stories, I have to write them. because they're being infused with love from the angels to help everybody, you know, and that's what it's all about. That is where Oliver's adventures with the Rainbow Heartlight came from. The real Rainbow Heartlight is another story for another day, but it's equally as important. Again, another gift from the angels to bring all this together. So Oliver came into this existence to bring forth Oliver's adventures with the Rainbow Heartlight.